that this is a very unique class with respect to how we also conduct our classes. Generally, it is that we have the faculty conduct 30 minutes of the class, but Vikas sir was very particular about the fact that he said that I wanted to be interactive, that there should be some communication as to what are the questions which are there in the minds of young advocates. And we went out to our people, our family, and we figured out what are the actual questions which are troubling young lawyers or young law students. And on the it's a very interactive session, and we very humbly welcome Vikas sir for first of all being so extremely patient and taking his time out of a very busy schedule. And most of the time, everyone will know that sir is busy because you will find interacting on various topics of laws. So, very briefly, I just introduce for anyone who does not know him so far. Vikas sir is an advocate. He's practicing before the Honorable Punjab and Haryana High Court. Sir has been practicing since 1994 and has had an elaborate and extensive career of more than 27 years. He has been the former additional standing counsel for the Union Territory of Chandigarh, and he's a trained mediator. Also, very interestingly, sir is also the coordinator for a law initiative called Beyond Law CLC. And what's very unique about this particular initiative is that they have created more than 500 videos with very eminent and very prestigious lawyers. And due to very largely, because again, we do not know how exactly it works, but it has been very largely due to Sir's efforts, which are very evident and which are very prominent in those. And I have referred to those videos many times for learning. So, sir, thank you so much in person, uh, firsthand on my behalf. And so we welcome you.
Thank you, Keshav, and thank you, team Vestralex. Lex. It's always a pleasure connecting the persons who are always willing to learn the nuances of law as well as the professional mindsets. Therefore, when Keshav, on behalf of team Vestralex, requested that we should do, I thought that since we have been doing a lot of webinars on Beyond Law CLC, we thought that there are certain professional mindsets which have to be built up in the right way. That helps you to develop the law as well as the professionally to pay back to the society in the better way. And to say therein that once you join the profession itself, then does it develop as a professional, or does it take during the time when you join the profession as professional course as such, would be the issue which keeps on cropping up in the mind. My personal experience along with the team is to the effect that if you start developing and thinking about the profession in which you want to join, is the best way to move forward. Because while you are studying any professional course, maybe it is a medical, engineering, law, during those 3 to 5 years of course, or if you're doing a master's in business administration, etc., during those years, if you start thinking that you have also not only to study, but also at the same time, you have to develop your skills, what we normally nowadays are calling as professional soft skills as such, which actually help you to develop in the mind of a common man as well as the professional who is doing. Now, what could be the things forward? Let's assume, since primarily, as I've been told by Keshav, that it will be primarily lawyers based, I will say that there are two facets under the law. One is to join the law in 3 years, and the other is to do a 5-year course. Though, as Keshav had discussed, he had said that there could be certain questions which normally come within the mind of a student as well as a young professional, which during the course of this 30 to 45 minutes we will take across.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah.
So, sir, with your permission, I think it's a very great opportune moment to start. Irrespective, so we've taken 9 minutes extra of your time. We've started a little late today. But sir, so very briefly, I'll just introduce to the class that how exactly we are going to go about today. So we're taking up parts of how exactly the life of a young lawyer or young legal profession moves forward. So this starts from beginning before entering the legal profession to during the law school to the start of the legal practice, and up till a few years since the legal practice is officially started. So, with respect to that, the first thought I think which comes to the mind of every law student, and as a matter of fact, even young advocates, is also what is the difference and what is the better opportunity between a 5 year and a 3 year law course?
Keshav, I've personally seen that 3 years and 5 years, there are two aspects. Normally, one who's intending to do law and who has that mindset to excel in law, normally he or she takes up the 5 year law. One and the foremost advantage is that you say 1 year, that is, it's a 5 years, and that becomes graduation plus one. It becomes a 6 year course. So, one is that you say 1 year. And at the same time, they say that birds of same flock fly together. So once you are for the 5 years together, then your mindset, your peer, your teamwork, this all for 5 years, you are only and only focused towards doing law. Therefore, the development of the mind on the critical basis and the analytical basis tends to develop better. Why I say that the 5 year would be better, because you see, normally these law courses are divided into semester basis. So in a 5 year law, you will have 10 semesters, and at the same time, in 3 years law, it will be 6 semesters. And let's assume you have to take internship. There, what people are tend to take it is internship if you start taking it from the first year. Therefore, once you are doing a 5 year law, then if you start taking internship at the first instance, by the end of your 5 year course, you tend to do 10 internships. And my recommendations, I'm taking the next offshoot of that. If you do 10 internships in different offices, including chambers, senior advocates, in the chambers of the judges, you understand the functioning of different schools of thought, I will say, and different functioning. Therefore, when you are doing that, you tend to gradually, this entire profession is of absorption and observations. Therefore, when you join an office, you tend to see how they take the different facts together, number one, how they interplay with the rules and the judgments. And if it is a chamber of a practicing lawyer, then you also see that how he puts it across in the court. And the best way to put forward is, while you are doing an internship, you should do your homework with sincerity and entirety. Therefore, when the senior is arguing the matter in the court, you would also learn that within your mind that this is the way I thought with those facts, rules, and judgments. I would have placed the things in this manner. But what was the different thought process? What was that extra skill effort which that senior had, which you should improve and inculcate within yourself? That helps you to improve better as a professional. And while you are working in a chamber, that is in the big firms, then normally what happens is that there, though not even in the profession, it is said, it is always the time is the essence. But in firms, there's too much pressure regarding the drafting, the stakes are too high. You are always pressing against the time, the deadlines are there. But the advantage in the practicing in the corporate side would be, you would be having immediate some senior above you, and thereafter another team, etc. Wherein what you can say, it is more like a mentorship. And once they are mentoring you, then you can understand how to take things forward, not only while you are doing your internship or as a professional in the firm. Vis-a-vis, if you join some advocate, there are three types of advocates, I will show. One, a very young lawyer. Second could be a designated senior. And one is who has got very, very big brand name. So while you are working with a big brand name, maybe that bridge of understanding and sometimes the gap as a young lawyer or this thing would be slightly much more. And if you are with a young or a mid-segment senior lawyer or who is designated senior, your understanding of the knowledge becomes better because somewhat you are on the same page. That difference within the mindset does not prevail as such. And after some certain amount of years of experience, once you join a very big law office, with your previous experience as a lawyer where you have been able to learn how you have to see the facts, how you have to understand the regulations, and how you have to rely upon the particular judgments, its ratio, descendi, how you have to distinguish, the court craft. And then if you join a very designated office or you continue with the senior advocate office, you can improve. And as and when opportunity comes, you can show your wings to fly. And at the same time, if you find subsequently that even if you're not given an opportunity to argue, but at the same time, once your senior is busy, you are jotting down the notes, making short notes, you become the centrifugal point for the client and the senior advocate, because normally he will say, you take down the facts. Gradually, the trust between that lawyer and the client tends to shift towards you. I'm not saying that you will take away the clients, but yes, you start creating your market to the level that he has understanding of law. He has also the grasp of understanding various nuances of law. So gradually and gradually you do. And the most, as a lawyer, we all speak of Article 14. In Article 14, we say that there shouldn't be any discrimination. And this profession is one where there's no discrimination as such. Because once you start arguing the case, you are also on the same page, same facts, same regulations. How you project before the court is not what only the judge observes, but the other lawyers back in the gallery and the clients also observe. And you start creating the space within space. They say that any professional is like a bottle of perfume. The moment you open it, it spreads in the aroma. You need not spread that what reputation you are carrying, what type of preparation you are doing. It speaks when the judgments come forth, how you have placed the facts, how you have placed the law as such. You start cultivating those habits as such. So this is my personal take. Keep on doing the hard work. And as they say that if opportunities come, at some places it knocks the door very early. At some times it comes fast. You can take a team number of examples from the professionals, from the sports academics. You'll find that some people got opportunities at the right time. Even in sports, from cricket, you can see that some people got opportunities, they created a mark, but then initially they flourished, but subsequently they perished because they didn't put that hard work with continuity. And you will find large number of players who actually cultivate that habit subsequently. They kept on doing the hard work and they have made more space. So it's only the timeline which is the basic difference.
So there's one very taking the conversation forward. So you mentioned very explicitly that how the progression should be with respect to the career of a lawyer itself. Now, so there is another question which troubles everyone, including a law student as well as a young lawyer, or maybe anyone who even contemplates law, or even thinks about law as a subject. So, which stream should a lawyer pursue, and at which stage should that person feel comfortable to be able to decide that this is a stream which I should take?
You see what I said, that you should start taking the internships. You may have thought that you have a flair for one particular stream, but once you start doing internships, let's assume it's a 10-year and you have a 5-year law and you have done 10 internships and you are taking different streams. There are two schools of thoughts. One is you start doing only specialized internships. But I've seen large number of times that sometimes you intend to take corporate, sometimes arbitration, because you may agree or you may disagree, but largely money does play a factor, especially during the young times, because your bread and butter, one who comes from a middle class or from the humble backgrounds, for him, the decisive factor would also become the money. So everybody doesn't get into those corporate law, arbitration, and the big firms. So I would recommend that don't put all your eggs in one basket. Try all the different internships. Try to understand, make your best foot forward while you are doing the internship. You will understand what could be your career ahead. Secondly, while you are understanding that aspect, you will also understand, you can have your confidence. In large number of occasions, it happens that while you are doing internship and you have created your mark, even that firm, that chamber, the senior advocate himself offers that, why don't you join that office? So opportunities from the internships are also cultivated and done forward in the right way. Therefore, internships would always be an important and pivotal role, which helps you to consider what stream you can do. And if you start developing those skills, you will gradually understand that, rather than thinking that I will start practicing on the criminal side or the civil side or the constitution side. Sometimes you may think of X factor, but sometimes it so happens that you start getting cases of a different field where you start creating marks. So as they say that man proposes, God disposes. Ultimately, according to me, don't think of the stream as such, but start developing your soft skills, legal skills, critical skills, analytical skills. And then they say, you have that wings, you can fly as far as you can. You're just like an eagle, you will keep on soaring higher.
So absolutely, sir. Very kind words and very humble advice. But sir, as a matter of fact, sir, I think this is one of the biggest challenges for all young advocates, at least all of my friends and personally myself also. What we face is that because people ask for the moment I introduce myself, the first question which comes to me is, okay, so you're a lawyer. What sort of a lawyer? So how do I answer? So I don't understand criminal law or this thing, but irrespective, so I understand what you've just said. I just keep taking and keep moving. Now, so there was this other challenge, very big challenge actually, which I personally felt, and which at the same time, many of my friends, and as a matter of fact, I was having a discussion with a few lawyers who are relatively senior to me today also. With them, that what exactly, how do young advocates, as you also sir, just pointed out, that there is not a lot of opportunity to argue their matters or to be able to represent a matter in a specific or in a systematic format. Then, sir, what exactly is the importance of moot court for any college going student?
Moot court, according to me, plays a pivotal role in the upbringing and the grooming of a youngster. As they say, they are the future lawyers. The first and the foremost is, in the mooting, you learn the art of team building. Team building means you develop, you discuss with your friends, and you also absorb as to how the other team and the other members participate in that particular moots. And the moots is one situation where you're asked to prepare from the petitioner side as well as from the defendant side. So that critical and analytical thinking starts developing during the moots itself. Number one. Number two is that you start learning how to jot down the facts in a chronological manner. And third is to take out the judgments which are for and against. Then you understand how you have to bring the best of the diamonds from the coal. So the bringing of the best things, with they say that the best of the gold and diamond only come through the grinding process. And grinding is during the law times, during the moots time. And you also interact with large number of people. Let's assume you have done moots, intra-department, then state, then national level, or if you have been lucky enough, you go participate up to the international level. You cultivate your friends, which help you if you have created your mark. Let's assume you are practicing in Bangalore and somebody is in Delhi. So he will immediately recollect that there was some young student who was very good at moots. Let me ask whether he's into the practice. That becomes a referral point. So one is creating a benchmark principally directly, and another is that it helps to spread a word during your college days itself. And once you are doing mooting, people understand that you are very good in the moots on the criminal aspects of litigation, on the civil aspects. And gradually, I will go back to your first question. How do you process that? While you are doing mooting, you start understanding that what type of skills you have. And they say that the best person to understand and acknowledge your skills or your faulty mechanism in your style of life is yourself. Look into the mirror daily, you will understand what are your positive and negatives, and that will help you to understand things better.
Once again, sir, I am a fan of all of these one-liners that you have, sir, and it's really great because they are always relevant and to the point, and they actually help us understand things in a much better aspect. So, again, and so thankfully, the introduction which you gave to the class today, so it was very encompassing. And I find that my questions are the questions that I have noted down are quite relevant with respect to that. So wherein you mentioned the chronology or the sequence in which one advocate should think about moving forward in their career as to which firms to join or how exactly to go about. So, what exactly should be the key point of difference that should be kept in mind when choosing between a litigation practice or a corporate law firm practice? So that all doubts may be set aside. That what is the exact difference? What should a person be expecting when choosing either of them?
What I had taken back to the what answer I had given, since they are all, once you talk of the profession, they are all interwoven in each other. It's just like this, the self clutch will only come once you actually mix all the things. You will find that the firm or the joining in the corporate sector and the practice both have a slight difference in them. Number one is that there in the corporate side, there is this ladders. You don't straight away, there is a normal hierarchy. You will have one mentor or your senior, then super senior, and then super senior. Let's assume it's a pan India or a pan world this thing. So you may not have the access to all. Insofar as the legal practice is concerned, you will always find to that level that what I told, there's a lawyer, senior advocate, and a super senior advocate like Mr. Kapil Sibal, Mr. Tushar Mehta, who have created their mark. They're all very good, but relevance is, do you have that direct access to those persons? The advantage with very super senior would be that, as they say, that your father or your parents sometimes don't teach the things, but it is all absorption. So once you see with the senior that how those particular facts have been taken across by absorption and noting all things forward, you can learn things. We just give an example that your father, like I've seen that you have also done your shave. Your father will never tell you how you have to do the shave. It is only by absorption that how does he apply the cream, how does he use the razor. These are tricks, not tricks, but these are all by observation. It has never been taught. So similarly, when you join a corporate office or a lawyer, they will never teach you, they will never hold your finger, but you will have to see how those particular facts are taken across, how you will see that how chronologically he takes the documents. Maybe it is a firm, maybe it is a lawyer. How you take those facts, how you assimilate law with them and regulations. Now in corporate, you will not understand, you will be briefing a lawyer, whereas if you join a law firm, a lawyer, you'll also learn the nuances of putting things across in the court draft. So the difference is that's more in the corporate would be, it's more in a closed chambers which you are learning. While you're working in the with a lawyer, you also have that feel that what you have put across on the paper and how it is hammered across in the court, and how do you actually hit the nail and the right point. So that are the things, the subtle difference between the two.
So, sir, considering that a person understands finally now that, all right, whether if I want to choose a corporate firm or a litigation firm. Now, so now the question which comes to that person's mind is that I want to apply. And considering that any law firm or any lawyer, they do not readily just take lawyers. And generally, there are, as you mentioned also, so that there are some seniors, super seniors, and very big firms, very big advocates. So if I have a dream job or if I have a dream litigator who I want to join, anyone for that matter of fact, what should be the ideal manner of going about their job application?
First, I will take first things first, that I will not say that straight away join a firm. First, you have to build your skill sets, create your confidence, and your covering letter while you're sending to the superior or some referral point who can help you to connect that firm. Your 2 minutes covering letter and your resume normally speaks what type of person you are. So first and foremost would be you have to first build your skill sets, soft skills, which can be put across in the resume, because it's rare that you join some office without a resume until unless you have a very big reference or you have created some separate mark that you have different spark altogether that you will do. And maybe there are times that you have submitted an application to a big office, you may not be considered the first, but that's not the end of the road. If you keep on persisting, sometimes you get that opportunity. Very few are people who get the opportunity at the first brush and the first knock of the door. But normally they say you never know which door opens first. And that door, and sometimes I would also say and suggest that it's not necessary that those who don't get the best offices should feel disgusted. Sometimes God has his own destiny. Joining some other place would all be, or sometimes it becomes much better. I will give an example. A lawyer, when he was a young lawyer, like what you believe, he had also an idea. He wanted to join some office, but that day that lawyer was not there because he was more into politics. Then he went to some other office. Ultimately, that lawyer also joined politics. He demitted he left the practice and the entire brief with him. So he says that if the first brush I would have got the opportunity at the first office, I would not have grown to that level. So I'm just saying that God has his own ways. One should always believe in your hard work, and rest we should always so believe in the God. You will know that sky is the limit if you believe in yourself. And any good office where you're working hard, this is, as I said earlier, you should create your market to that level. Market in the sense that once you join any office, once you are saying, sir, I'm leaving the office, that senior of yours should make you sit down, what we call in the corporate law, the exit interview, and try that you should continue in the office. It shouldn't be a situation where you say, sir, I'm leaving to leave the office. He says, thankfully, you're going. I was also thinking within my mind that you should leave the office. So wherever you work sincerely. It is just like, since I'm a great fan of cricket, you don't start believing that you have not got the international exposure. Keep on performing in the domestic level. You never know when the opportunity knocks. There are a team number of examples within the cricket and other sports and law also that you get the opportunity, and then is the right time. You keep on soaring. As I said, you become like an eagle. You continue to fly high.
So very, I would say very apt and very motivating also. So, sir, with respect to this only, the opportunity which you just mentioned, that let's assume that as what assumes that it's actually the truth only. Every young advocate is faced by these questions, these challenges. That once you complete law, uh, there are options, and specifically when you're living in a city like New Delhi, wherein you have practically all forums available before you, right from the trial courts to the High Court to the Honorable Supreme Court also, and various other tribunals and all forms of quasi-judicial uh, authorities also. So there is always this thought that, and this suggestion which is referred and reflected, that some people say that you have to start with the Supreme Court, that you go to the Supreme Court, you join the chamber of a designated senior or maybe someone established in law, or an AOR, or anyone for that matter of fact, but your practice should be at the Supreme Court. Whereas there are other schools of thought which say that you know High Court practice is good. And then there is a third school of law which says that until and unless you start with the trial court, there is you have no knowledge whatsoever of law. So very big dilemma. What should one do?
You have rightly said. It is just like more what you say, that what came first, whether the egg or the hen. Wherever you create your market, your space, it automatically done. But yes, there's a difference between all three sets of forum. I'm not talking of tribunals. In the district court, you learn the nuances of evidence, pleadings, and the art of cross-examination. In the High Court also, you get the opportunity to create original jurisdiction. Normally in the Supreme Court, until unless it's Article 32 petitions, etc., wherein you develop the skills of building the original field. You are the master chef. Everybody gets the same ingredients. Then how you make that food which is palpable and good for all makes you help to create the space. I would say that in the district court, you will learn what I said, cross-examination, etc., which will be slightly lower once you're in the High Court. Let's assume it's an election petition or a commercial court proceedings, where you learn the nuances and you hone that skill with a flux of time. In Supreme Court, it's less. Now, another way around is, we all know that in district court, comparatively the fee structure vis-a-vis the High Court and the Supreme Court, it's in the reverse. And the reverse is also the correct, that in the district court, you start getting briefs more easily vis-a-vis High Court and then Supreme Court. So it is actually a reverse trend. The number of cases might be more and the amount of professional fee would be vis-a-vis less. But if you continue to do hard work, continue to create the space within space, as they say, we are all wheels within wheels. If you create your own space, then fees automatically develops. And in the district courts, the communication skills, professional skills, and even in the High Court and Supreme Court, in all three fields, how you present your facts, firstly in the written, and then when you develop that art of oral advocacy, that helps. Wherever you do, whatever you do it sincerely. I'm quite sacrosanct that people will start acknowledging you. So first, have a hang of it. Yes, though I have not done it, but for 1 or 2 years, if you do the district court practice, then once you get that civil revision, criminal appeal, or the bail application, etc., you would understand what is the logic behind that application. You will understand why this cross-examination was there. I just give an example. A lot of people who are doing for the first time and those who have not the experience of the cross-examination, sometimes when they see the evidence and they find that cross, sometimes they find that it was probably a typographical error. I'm very candid about that. A lot of people have that hindsight. Until unless he has practiced that, or until unless he's in an office where there's been appeals, criminal appeals, RSA, where he understands how to understand the exhibits, marks, and the relevance of each question, then you can grow better. But again, the key formula would be your ultimately hard work. The difference between the hard work and hardly working would be that ordinary and extraordinary effort, which makes the entire difference.
So, sir, let's assume that there is an advocate who is very hardworking and who hardly takes rest. And he has gone through the entire process and structure that you have elaborated with respect to various establishing oneself in the initial few years of practice. Now, so that person comes to a thought wherein that person feels that whether if I should establish myself as an independent practitioner or whether if I should continue as an association probably with someone as a juniorship or maybe as a firm employee, howsoever that person has been. So, when is the best time to start independent practice, as well as what are the challenges that one may expect to face once one starts that?
Again, I will say that you will find lawyers who have established once initially from the first year. Some have done 3 years, some have done 5 years. But on an average, if you will always find a lawyer who is doing well, normally joins the chamber from a period ranging from 3 to 5 years. That's the average one. Because as a lawyer also, if you'll find that if you get a case with you, the normal timeline is from 1 to 5 years of any particular case. The first case is the most challenging to get it. But if you have to have a repeat clientele with the success rate, it will normally come once you deliver the results, then the referral part increases. It's more like a dominoes effect that once you deliver the result, people start believing it. And especially in the era of social media, you'll find that once you give the results, things spread like wildfire and you can create your space within that. And a lot of offices, while you're working in any office, allows you to do your independent practice. Once you feel that you are not able to do justice with the chamber in which you are working, and you are having sufficient work for going independent, let's assume, because as a young lawyer, one takes the work from the C level till the Supreme Court. So you have to actually, if you say that you have to play within those parameters, it's not that your senior starts saying that you are not devoting full time to that and you're not being able to do justice. Before that time comes and you are getting sufficient work, I think that is the time when you have to fly. But not you find that X has left the office, Y has left the office. You will find large number of lawyers practicing for 7, 8 years, 10 years, and then taking it off, some within 2 years. So you are the best person. Don't go by what other people say. they say, as they say in Hindi, suno sabki karo apne man ki, which goes best.
तो सर ऐसी सबकी सुनी और की अपनी, लेकिन तब भी एक छोटा सा थॉट और आ गया कि दैट द फर्स्ट केस एज यू मेंशनड सर दैट इज द मोस्ट ट्रिकी एंड द मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट वन, and frankly so it's an ever evolving and all everything all encompassing field, the legal field in itself. So here a person, once he starts practicing individually, independently, or probably as a sole practitioner at that point of time, so how would you suggest, or what are the ways in which a person can keep updating themselves with respect to all the various aspects of law, developing law, and considering that that person is also working in various fields? So how does one go about self development?
Skill development is more like an art which continue to, if you, the more you practice, they are like muscles. The more you practice, the better it becomes. So skill for developing the skill sets as a lawyer, I would say, keep on reading newspapers, keep watching news, read different articles, different blogs, watch YouTube channels, watch the social media on LinkedIn. You will find, along with the latest journals. Now, two aspects continue. Let's assume you are a regular and an ardent fan of reading. You will continue to know what has developed in law. In that entire newspapers, your eyes will gaze the newspaper, but ultimately you will come over to the point where it's the law. You will know what the law has been, how the law has developed. If you continue reading the various judgments which are shared on the WhatsApp groups, and there are a lot of social media platforms like Bar and Bench and Live Law, where they share the latest judgments immediately. And there are a lot of journals also, SCC, and all the states have when one or the two who are popular. So from that, you get a hang of it. What is the legal journey? So normally it does happen. You may not know the entire law, but once you have read the newspaper or you've watched a YouTube, you will, or a judgment, once the client comes, you will understand that little window of hope gives you, and thereafter you have that journey. You have to travel yourself, you have to find more law, and that can be developed. These all soft skills are during as a lawyer. Also, when you're a student of law, you will have to do internships, you will have to do mooting, you will have to understand the law, you have to develop the art of critical thinking and analytical thinking. Once you start developing those, as I said, then sky is the limit.
So again, we'll be opening the round for questions and answers for everyone. I'm not just going to hog all of sir's time by myself, but I will still have one question which I would want. As it's not a question, as a matter of fact, more so rather than an advice, seeking advice from sir. That what advice would sir have for any young law professional who is entering the profession for the first 5 years only? I'm not going with a very elaborate thought. Just for the first 5 years, how should a young law student, or probably a lawyer who has just entered into the legal field, what should be his frame of mind, or what would be, sir, your advice to that young lawyer for the first 5 years of his practice?
I will not say it's 5 years. If you're done 5 years of law, then it becomes 5 plus 5, 10. And if it is 3, then 3 plus 5, 8. So I would say that rather, while you are in the law college, it is more like a nursery. Your seedlings of the mindset have already been sown. The plant would continue to develop and ultimately grow better. And if your foundation is strong, you become more like a bamboo tree. If you would have understood and seen that bamboo trees, in the Chinese, they say that for good 5 years, you do not even see the tree growing. And once it starts growing, it goes on and on. So for any growth in the professional, as they say, first improve your structure, then the superstructure grows automatically. And the law also, we say that if the structure falls, superstructure falls automatically. It is converse in the profession. If your structure is good, then the superstructure of your knowledge, your soft skills will keep on developing. So these are the times, if you get any proposition of law, start reading extensively. Once you develop the habit of reading extensively, reading analytically, thinking out of box solutions, don't think that that is the judgment what has come is the best. If you read the section thoroughly and deeply, you can give a different interpretation. That's why we will find that always the judgments keep on changing with the nature of assistance given by a young lawyer, senior advocate, or the super senior advocate. It all depends how you hammer the point. Question is, if you are able to put it across in the right way, for first 5 years, again, I would come back to square one, that you have to do hard work, you have to develop your skills and continue to create your space within the society. And people will actually come to know that.
It's been very enlightening, I would say personally for me. Again, some phases have gone by, but other ones I can only reminisce and relate to so much. At the same time, with respect to so what you have said, I am quite sure that all of these things, they will keep benefiting a lot of young law students as well as young advocates who are going to refer to this session in the future. And in the meanwhile, I'll ask everyone that if you have any questions that you would want to, because obviously I know that very little I've been able to cover in my questions. So whatever questions are still there, if anyone wants to ask, sir, I think right now is the best time to just have whatever conversation you want. Right. So I think, sir, everyone is still lost in the thoughts of the conversation. But irrespective, whatever questions you have, you can keep raising your hands. I though have so plenty to ask, sir. And actually, I'll be honest with you, I came with a few questions, but during this conversation itself, so much more came into my mind. So, sir, with respect to one very interesting thing, sir, and irrespective, so this is a very, how would I say, sir, enlightening conversation for us. So, sir, wherein it comes to deciding the fees for matters, right? So, for independent practitioners, I'm just curiously asking. So, and as a matter of fact, for law firms also. So, what are the considerations which should be kept in mind? There is no any uh, uh, card or anything specifically stating so, or at least not in my knowledge, that this is the fixed rate for anything which should be there. So how should one determine what exactly fees should one be asking for?
At least speaking for myself, I say that first of all, if you feel that the case is very good, and even if there's no paying capacity of the client, take that case, because that helps you to develop your name within the field. Because whatever hard work you do, as they say, nothing succeeds like success. If you deliver the results, people will start following you. It is just like even if you're out at 99, nobody is going to remember you. But if you make a century, you create a different niche for yourself. So ultimately, if you deliver the results, as they say, that first focus on the work, fees and other name, fame, or automatic peripherals which automatically flow from that. So first and the foremost would be this thing. And once you start creating and start developing your mindset, and you have made a mark for yourself, fees is one thing which automatically pours. It is as good as it is a belief that once you believe, your people start believing in you, then fee becomes no consideration for any client as such. They know that you are the 1 point solution for them. You are just like a mall shop where people will come to you, deliver to you, rather than then you need not even think how the clientele will come. You start working and developing and start believing in the results. Automatically, people will come for you, and the fee becomes automatically this thing. First and the foremost consideration is that you have to deliver results. You have to work hard.
So on this line itself, so very well you've said. Actually, sir, I'm getting replies from people stating that what you're saying, it is resonating with everyone actually. And I just received a message which say that I am crystal clear. It is like he's speaking my mind. So I'm like, again, sir, it's very enlightening for everyone, irrespective. So, sir, one other thing which comes into the picture is that, sir, someone was mentioning, again, one of our seniors only, that if a person can practice law as a hobby, then they may be able to establish themselves. But if a person has to do it for as a profession, in the sense for financial needs, then it becomes really very difficult. uh, More so for anyone who's venturing into the practice and who does not have family support, or probably who's not a second generation lawyer per se. So, sir, again, there is this question from Mr. Sanjeev. He says, apart from bar and bench, which other site shares latest judgments? And sir,
Live law, Indian Qanun, and then if you're a student, a lot of colleges itself allow you the password. You can have that SCC online, SCT. Nowadays, there are online. I would be candid. A lot of friends share those passwords, and they can look into those books. And even if you Google around, there are a lot of sites from where you can get the judgments. First is you have to develop that mindset to critically and analytically think about an issue. Even your friends help you. Let's assume you take a proposition in a pointed manner. He will tell you that these are the citations which can help you. But ultimately, it's your own story. You have to be within yourself and put it across.
and so that is with respect to Sanjeev ji, that is with respect to finding the judgments. But if you want clarity on topics of law, then I will suggest that you refer to Beyond Law CLC YouTube channel also. I'll share the link on the, I think I've shared the link on the class group also, so that people may just refer that. So I've referred to most of the videos many times, with respect to, I know, with respect to drafting also, and with respect to so many things. And some people, some of the guests have also blessed our stage also, and it's been really a pleasure to have had the occasion and opportunity to learn and to hear views and advice of so many such brilliant minds, so including you today who's here. So, sir, again, we've crossed the time for the class, but there is one very so out of the syllabus, I think it may be called, subject with respect to, sir, your initiative. So, because I deeply appreciate, and I really greatly appreciate what you and your team have been able to do, and what they continue to do every single day, wherein so much knowledge has been uh, collated through such experienced people. Because I think recently, sometime back only, I was reading wherein the Honorable Chief Justice of India had also mentioned that there needs to be more professional legal education, not just legal education. So, wherein, sir, all the people who are there, they're all very, I would say, very well versed with their subjects, and they have put in a lot of practice years and a lot of, I would say, sweat into making themselves who they are and what they are today. So, and sir, kudos to you and your entire team once again. But, so, what exactly is the path forward? How exactly would you see, or how would you want to develop, and how would you want to be able to contribute to the society, or whatever, sir, your vision is? Just your thoughts.
Our sole aim is that we should be able to decimate knowledge to down to the Lucas up till the highest level. Bring the best resource persons during this entire journey of around 2.5 years, 2 years to be exact, approximately. Is that once you believe that there is no ulterior motive while you are sharing knowledge, then people automatically come to share the knowledge. We feel that the best of the brains will not share the knowledge, but that is not the situation when we were doing Beyond Law. Retired judges, senior advocates, additional solicitors general, Supreme Court judges, academicians, bureaucrats, everybody has come to share the knowledge. Everybody at the hindsight feels that if you're thinking of working back and pay back to the society, everybody is willing to share with him. Nobody wants to keep the knowledge close to his chest guard. You may share, I will be very candid, people say that he has shared his knowledge, now who will go with him? As they say that if you have that extra skill set, you will continue to create your own benchmark. And whatever you are today, somebody has to take over the seat. So with that mindset, if you keep on developing yourself and paying back to the society, as they say that major corporates have started paying back what is called as CSR, corporate social responsibility. I will say we should be PSR, public social responsibility. As a citizen, we have to pay back to the society in whatever manner, whatever way one can. One can contribute with time, one can contribute with knowledge, one can contribute with money. As long as we are paying back to the society for the betterment, I have sacrosanct belief that we have a bright future, not only amongst lawyers, but everyone. As they say, each one teach one. So these all webinar series, not of ours, but all, including the blogs, is an endeavor to strengthen the minds for the betterment of the society. And I'm quite sure, what will they say, inshallah, sab kuch acha hi hoga.
So, sir, inshallah, pakka acha hi hoga, sir, jab we have the blessings of such seniors as yourself, and such other so very competent and very I would say gracious people who are willing to come out and share such tremendous uh, insights into various aspects of laws. So definitely acha hi hoga, sir. Inshallah, sab kuch acha hi hoga. Now, so there is a question from Advocate Nilesh Sharma ji. Nilesh ji, would you want to ask your question?
Yes, Keshav.
So please.
Actually, I does not want to ask any question. I am just thankful to you to bringing Vikas sir to your forum actually. And I am also thankful to Vikas sir because he is the person who is available for by 24/7 for all the lawyers. Whenever we have something query about any law on the law point or something like that, he is having so much YouTube videos with him. He has invited such scholars of law from the law field. So I'm really thankful to you for bringing him to your forum actually, and also thankful to Vikas sir to helping us all of us in each and every this situation. He has helped us very in all the difficult times. So I'm thankful to you. Okay.
Nilesh ji, thank you so much for such kind words.
Yeah.
Dinesh, that is, it's not, I have always believed that it's not me, it is we. It's only that M has to be put the other way around. And as they say, I is illness and we is wellness. So as long as we all grow together, the wellness of the society at large will continue to develop. And we just have to inculcate good habits for the betterment of the society. As they say, it is a bit, then it becomes a habit. So keep developing the better habits, not only as a professional, though we set of professional mindsets. Any mindset which is the positive things will bring positivity around and we will all grow together.
And just adding a little bit to it, Nilesh ji, it's not just that, we are also, and I know that I am thanking, as I thank everyone, as I thank Vikas sir on behalf of all of us. This is a family only. All the people who are here, who are still here so far, because considering that, and Vikas sir also, he's been so generous to extend his time and he's been so patient also with us. And similarly, how all of us are also there because there is knowledge. So there is no point of thanking anyone. It's just the fact that how sir said that it is we, that this is not anything, this is not anyone's initiative, this is not any one's work, but it would just not happen if sir would not have come, this class would not have been possible. If Nilesh ji, you yourself and all the other participants were not there, then again then there was just no point of any of this. So until and unless it is us, it is nothing. So just my very humble words on that.
I can only say before we part for the day that they always say that the heart is on the left, but it always thinks right. So whenever you do take any proposition of law as a professional or a student, first think whether whatever action you are doing, whether it is right, the answer will come from the heart. And that's why they say that the brain is head of the heart. Think from the heart, the brain will tell whether you have to do right in society. And hard work is the key to success, because they say that greatness was not achieved by sudden flight, but while others were sleeping at night, you kept on toiling all the night. And Keshri, any other question?
So I am, sir, what do I say, sir? I would have so much to say, but again, I don't know how much to say. As you said, sir, that the world is endless, it's limitless. There is just enough conversation. So in my mind, for you, sir, I am really like I
No.
can take as much time as I may be permitted, but I would not want to extend. Just
I can
one final
understand.
thought, sir. One question has come from one thought. I think it is. This is from Miss Nimisha Agnihotri. She says people are scared of getting into legal matters, but these platforms provide great insights. They gather good knowledge from we gather good knowledge from these webinars. So Nimisha ji, thank you so much. And sir, I thank you most humbly on behalf of all of our participants and all of our guests today. And I thank all of our participants. So again, very diverse group of people, yet I would say very young and very determined and very experienced. So it's all actually, so it's just this community. So it's just a family again, which just keeps us going. And so I thank you on behalf of everyone, and I thank everyone who is here present today. I thank you so much for being with us. I thank you so much for being part of this humble journey of ours. Vinod sir.
Keshav, I must thank you also for this endeavor, and we all are grateful to you also.
Vinod sir, it is most humbly, sir. How do I say, sir? We're just your children, and so just hearing such things, they're in themselves very, very uh, empowering, sir. I would say, and motivating, sir. Inspiring, to be honest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So, Vikas sir, with all due respect, sir, thank you so much for your inspiration today.
It was a pleasure connecting with Team Vestralex. And as they say, I can say that you are the captain of the team, and you are taking the team forward in the right perspective. And anytime we can all contribute to the society, each one, as I said earlier, each one has to teach one. That's the endeavor we should continue to do. And as normal fad is that there are triple P, that is public private partnership, but in the profession it is 3 P's are perseverance, persistence, and performance. So everybody keep those 3 P in the mind, and they will ultimately succeed like anything.
So much grateful to you, sir, and I hope that everyone keeps these 3 P's in their mind.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.